Hey everybody, welcome to our live. I am Heather and we come to you live each and every day. I am going to check to make sure you can hear me. I know you can see me, but can you hear me? Yes, you can. All right, we are set. All right. So how's everyone doing today on this glorious day? Glorious, I tell you. So we are going to talk every time we do these. We always go through the basics. I cover, what. Actually, I'm going to plug this in because I don't know when it was plugged in. Obviously, I start with no makeup on, and then I do my makeup as we go along. But it's a great way for you to ask questions and just learn about Luminess. I mean, we're all at different levels, and so it's great. Get your questions out there. It doesn't have to be about what we're talking or discussing at the time. I can multitask. So you can talk to me about different things like, hey, Heather, I was doing my makeup the other day and this happened. Or, hey, what about this? You can ask me about anything. If there's certain things that you want to see being done, great way to ask those questions. If I don't have it with me at the moment, I'll make a note and then we'll do that, in the next live. So to make sure we can get it done. So, hey, Tina, how are you? Good to see you, Tina. I do have a little bit of lipstick on today and because my lips were dry. But just to point out, and my eyebrows are done, that just a little bit of color on your lips can make a big difference as well. And when we're talking about makeup, I'm not talking that you have to like beat your face every single time you do makeup. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. People do, we do makeup different ways. My smoky eye could be different than your smoky eye. Some people just do a natural look. Some people will have a beat face every single day. And so it's what your interpretation of makeup is. For dry skin with heart, for dry skin, Tina, do you live in a dry area too, or do you live more in where it's humid? Number one is a question I want to ask. But for dry skin, make sure what should be okay. I was like harsh. What should okay? Hey Veronica, good to see you. So make sure you're moisturizing your face before putting on any makeup. I mean, when you're airbrushing, the same thing goes as far as like with traditional makeup, you would moisturize beforehand. Now, if you haven't checked it out, check out our website because we do have, sorry, my ankle itches. We do have skincare that you can be applied with Airbrush, and it is to help plump the skin. It is great for dry skin. And so you definitely want to try that out. Now, if you have dry skin and you live in a dry, dry area, then you may need a little more moisturizer. I love Pond's. It's old school. My neighbor uses it and she looks amazing. And so I started using it a few years ago. You can use a regular moisturizer with, hey, Lisa, how are you, girl? You didn't get, you didn't get the notification. I don't know. Something's up with Facebook. I'm just going to tell you right now, y'all. Yeah, we're on every day at 10:30. I was at 10:32 today. But with airbrush makeup, that's what I love about it. Hey, Lori, is with airbrush makeup, it's not all or nothing. Okay. So you can use traditional makeup with airbrush makeup. And so you can use a regular moisturizer as long as it's oil-free with Luminess, okay? However, and Tina said she ordered it, our skincare, hands down, thebomb.com. It is amazing. And there are different bottles, different formulas. I left it out there, but it's like little drop. They're almost like, they're bigger than this, but they look like that. Where you actually put it on through the system. You can even mix a couple of drops in with your foundation. And so it is amazing, and it is really good. If you go back on, Tina, I don't know, well, actually we did, it aired on Facebook and YouTube. We did a makeup or a skincare, Wednesday skincare. And one of the ladies who works with us in our beauty department in the on the phones, we did skincare with her for, I think it was 6 weeks, 6 or 8 weeks. And she used it. And you can see, you can go back and look at those videos. Her name was Helen, and Dorothy did the videos. It was amazing. Amazing to see the results. So you really do get to see the transformation. She was one that really didn't do a lot with her skin beforehand. And then she did smoke and stuff. So she had the lines around. So that's all of that. You'll see and just go through all the videos you see. If you're on YouTube, go to the lives, and then all the lives, you'll see that. So take a look at that. Lori tried it and said it's amazing. Skincare challenge. Yeah, it is great to see that. Heather D, we're all called Heather. It's the Heathers. It is amazing. I have to say. You're welcome, Lori. I'm glad we got you that birthday little gift. We did a birthday bash for Dorothy. Dorothy is on our, and maybe Lisa's on there today. Lisa, are you on there today, or is Dorothy? We on Facebook on Luminess Live. If you type in Luminess Live, all caps, Luminess space live, we have an artist that's there all the time from 9 to 5 Central Time, and they run videos. They'll run, you can ask questions, but it's Luminous constantly. And so you are able to ask questions on that as well and get your answers immediately. So you can look at that afterwards, but you want to watch this first. Just kidding. All right. So, it's Dorothy today. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And I labeled, Lisa's doing a live demo at noon. Yay. That is cool. Very cool. Let's do this. And then y'all are both answering that. That's awesome. All right. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do glow first. I do have a little bit of regular concealer, and this is one thing you would never see with Luminess, but see how it's creasing a little bit right there? So I'm just going to kind of tap that out. My lids are so dark that I have to have a little bit of concealer on. All right. So I'm going to add hold on, I'm going to show you because we're talking about drops, and I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 drops of glow. Now, glow is it's a illuminator, it's a highlighter. Glow can be used in different ways. There's no shimmer, there's no luminosity to glow. It's just a straight up highlighter. So I can highlight underneath my eyes to make it brighter. Now you saw how light it is, but I don't want to see that immediately, right? Because how we spray, remember when we're airbrushing, we keep it 4 finger widths away from our face. We keep it moving, and we're barely pulling down on that trigger. A lot of times people get this home and they put it on, like traditional makeup. It makes sense. You only know traditional makeup up until this point. And so doing this, putting this on in an airbrush form is different. It is going to be different. How it feels on your skin is different. How it looks on your skin is different. All of that is different. So when we're learning to airbrush, we have to retrain our brains. So I have my system on. I'm going to actually spray my paper towel just to make sure. I start my movements first, and then I move it down. Now, a lot of people are like, well, how do you know where it's going? Hello, I can feel the air. Wherever the air is where the makeup's going. The air, wait for it, is your brush, okay? The air is your brush. Ooh. So make sure, like if you just want to sit there and practice just using the air so you know where it's going, then do that. So you'll get used to the air and using that. It also blends as we apply it. I'm going to do a little bit on my lids. Do another pass underneath my eyes. Now remember, I only use 3 drops, and I'm still using it. There's still stuff in there. Now I can go in and kind of cover those areas I need to cover where I know I'm going to need more coverage. But notice how it's a very subtle highlight underneath my eyes, and I blended it all the way down. I didn't stop there. You don't see demarcation lines. It's blending as we apply it. And guys, I'm still using it. Okay, 3 drops, and now look, I still had to blow some of that out. That is how light you are spraying your face. This is dry. It should not feel wet or sticky. If it does, you may be too close. You may be staying in one spot too long. Chances are you're pulling back too hard on that trigger. Okay, so you want to watch all of those to make sure you're doing it the correct way. What, Lori? How many times what? Can you use the skincare? So I'm guessing that's what you mean. So skincare you want to use morning and night. If you look on our site and look up whatever products you have, guys, our site at Luminous Cosmetics, it tells you everything. It has, I'm going to use the shade 3 right now. And so, or actually this is shade 5 because I was at the beach. My niece got married 1st of August. And so I was darker. And I don't have a current 3. So I am going to use a 5, but listen to this. I'm putting a couple of drops of the glow in there so I can lighten it up a bit. But, oh, I meant to show you my drops. Boop, boop, boop. I did 5 drops. And then I'm going to do probably 2 drops, yeah, of glow. Turn it on, and now I'm going to back bubble to mix those together. So on our site, and when you can look up whatever skincare you have, it will list the directions. It lists everything. It lists ingredients, it lists directions, it'll list use it, whatever. I mean, it lists everything for you. So it'll tell you whether you use it once a day or twice a day, whether it's morning or night, morning and night, whatever it is, it'll list that on there for you. It tells you what it does, what it's good for, all of that. All right, so now I have my new and improved shade 3. It was a shade 5. I put a couple of drops of glow in there, mixed it together. Then when I start, I'm going to start on one side of my face, and you can start anywhere. I'm 4 finger widths away. I keep it moving. I'm barely pulling down on my trigger. I know where the makeup is going. Why? Because I can feel the air. I'm going to keep going. Blend it down my neck because I don't want that demarcation line. Now, because I did glow all the way under, I don't have to go up all the way with the foundation, but I'll just go to meet it. And yes, you keep your eyes open when airbrushing. And now I'm kind of just I make one complete pass. Most of my coverage is in here. So that's where I keep most of my coverage. With airbrush makeup, you don't have to put the same amount of product everywhere. The other thing is you definitely want to start Start that movement first before pulling down on the trigger, because if you get that hot spot there, which isn't a deal breaker, just tap it out. Tap it out, tap it out. And then you can, I think I'm out anyway, but you can airbrush right over it, okay? That's the other great thing about Luminess. There's pretty much no mistakes. You can't mess up, guys. Even if right now when you're spraying and maybe you are spraying too hard, and let's say your face feels wet, it's okay. Just take your finger off the trigger, and then you can use the air to dry it. Honest to goodness, guys, there's really no mistakes. If you do get a hot spot, is what we call it. I like calling it a tap it out, keep going. But what people do is they hold it here. You're like, okay, I'm 4 finger widths away. They hold it here and then start pulling back on the trigger. Well, that till the makeup comes out. Well, that's going to give you that. So start the movement first and then pull down on the trigger. The other thing, if you practice using the air, just using the air, and then practice with water, I promise, guys, that practicing, you're going to start picking up on cues. If we were all in a room, everybody was airbrushing, I could tell you, if I closed my eyes, I could tell you who was out of makeup and who was spraying too hard. You'll start hearing those clues, I promise. Hey, Andrea, how are you? All right, now put my 2 drops of blush. Our blush is what? Super high pigmented. Most of the time, I do my blush first. I do my blush first because if I do get blush happy and it gets a little bit too much, then I'm always airbrushing over it and it's going to blend for me. But now when I'm doing it before or after foundation, I do a little bit on each side. And I wanted to just put 2 drops in there and that's it, because it will bloom. If after those 2 drops, you feel like, I could use a little bit more, then add 1 more drop. It's okay. Okay. It's all right. Now the natural blush, that one doesn't bloom as much, but it doesn't matter the color. You can use whatever color we have in blush. Just make sure 1 or 2 drops. That's all you need, because you can tell like it's starting to come out a little bit more. How many drops of Tip Top cleaner do you use for the breeze? So at the end, I use, I would probably use, I will tell you, I first clean it with water. So we have Tip Top. This is actually water. And I rinse it out first with water. So I fill it up, and you do want, and I'll back bubble a little bit. You do want to, and this is cleaning right now, and then I can back bubble, clean, back bubble, clean. You can close this. I just want y'all to see that so it doesn't go everywhere. But the big thing is, do not put this under the sink. Now our stylus, our airbrush stylus, you can put under the sink. This, do not. Why? This is the whole kit and caboodle. This is electric or battery operated. So you're going to short circuit it if you put it underneath. So use your Tip Top, use a dropper bottle, whatever. But Andrea, to your point, I do clean it with water first, and then I'll put about 4 to 5 drops of the Tip Top cleaner. Afterwards, I feel like it saves me a little bit on the Tip Top cleaner, because it can be cleaned with just water. So if I can get a jump start and clean it with just water first, and then you get a good clean with the Tip Top cleaner, why wouldn't I do that, right? All right. So now I'm going to go in with my Nude Naughty. And with my dress, I have a lot of colors. But what do I want to use? Ooh, do I want to use blue? It's like a blue-gray. Let's see what this is. Ooh, I'll use this one. This is like a bluish gray. Just going to put that on my lid. And yeah, I'm applying it with my finger. Okay, so that's on. And you might go, well, Heather, that doesn't look too good. Well, because I haven't blended it yet. So I'm going to take a blending brush, one of these, and then I can go in and I'm going to soften that edge from where I had applied it. Now I'm going to go in with a light medium brown, and I'm just adding it kind of a transition color right there. And then you can have fun with the, I always line with eyeshadow because one, it's softer. All of our stuff is high pigmented, so it lasts. So I could line with blue. That's a nice little blue too. I could line with brown, whatever I'm feeling, right? It's all about what we're feeling, how we want to do it for the day, right? And then I'm gonna grab my mascara. If I can find it. Oh no, did I forget my mascara? I think I forgot my mascara. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I did forget it. I have one of our do I have one of our older mascaras? I don't know if we do. Let's see if I can get anything out of this one. We are working on some, guys, so no worries. There's a little bit left in this one. Whew, because can't have this look. Without mascara. I think there's some empty ones in here that I might try all of them to make sure I can. Tina, we're reformulating the one that we have. We're almost done. And so you should see it shortly. So stay tuned. And so, yeah, having mascara is that's the one thing, like I can't go out of the house without. Do y'all have that one thing that you're like, not going out of the house without this? Mascara is my one thing. So very, very importante. And then you can finish it with a lipstick or a gloss. Doing just when you have a 65-pound golden doodle that chews up on your lipsticks, it's very exciting. I know. Everybody does. Everybody does. And I'm going to add a little bit of gloss. So there you go. Easy look, easy look. And what? I used 3 drops of the glow to highlight underneath my eyes to start that coverage, to cover up dark circles, to kind of give me that natural highlight underneath my eyes. And then I used 5 drops of our foundation, but I did mix a couple of drops of the glow to lighten it up, but I didn't use all the foundation. And then I used 2 drops of blush, and that's it. If you're like, ooh, Heather, I'm using way more than the 5 drops of foundation, that's okay. Know that that's what you're going to get to. Number one, that glow that I used, that's going to start giving me coverage. And so because you have to think of, when I say we're retraining our brains into thinking Luminess, we're not putting it on and then wiping anything over it. We're applying it with the airbrush. So it's going to, more passes creates more coverage. If it has pigment in it, you're getting coverage. The blush gives you coverage because it has pigment in it, okay? Again, we're not wiping it off. And so think about that when doing it. If you're not doing your makeup with 5 drops, you're doing 10 or 12, that's okay. That's okay. But just know, always count the drops that you use, because what you'll find is you'll start using less and less. Okay. So keep practicing. Every time you have the airbrush in your hand, you're learning. You're going to learn something new. Keep watching our shows so you can learn something new. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Really enjoyed seeing everybody. I hope everybody has a marvelous Tuesday. And remember, we're here Monday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. All right. Bye for now.